Good morning. I have 10:30 a.m. and I hereby call this meeting to order and ask everyone to please take your seats, which you've already done. Thank you. Also like to introduce Bobby Stem, AOGC. Good morning, sir. Always nice to see you here. The Commission Secretary will please call the roll.
Mr. Coburn.
Coburn here.
Mr. Grimsley.
Grimsley here.
Mr. Shannon.
Here.
Mr. Freimiller.
Freimiller here.
Mr. McCowan. Mr. Dyson.
Dyson here.
Mr. Alexander.
Alexander here.
Mr. LaForge.
LaForge here.
Mr. Peterson.
Here. Secretary Gatz, you are recognized to present, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This morning, I think it would be appropriate for us to open the meeting with your permission by observing a moment of silence in
recording in progress.
In memorial and remembrance of Secretary of Transportation Gary Ridley. Gary was such an instrumental part in the progress that we've made across the transportation system. No finer advocate for transportation and no finer friend. So if you don't mind, recommend we observe a moment of silence.
Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this point, I would like to recognize Brent Burwell with the Concrete Paving Association to come up and talk a little bit about some hardware that District 2 has won and recognition of some very, very good work. And then we'll have a photo opportunity, and Commissioner Grimsley, if you'd join us down for that. Brent?
Thank you, Secretary Gatz. Commissioner, members of the Commission, the American Concrete Pavement Association has been here before. We've won, as a state, we've won several awards for quality in concrete paving, and this year's no different. We brought, well, I say it's no different. It's a little bit different. We brought home 2 silver awards this year, but we also brought home something new. This year, for the first time, the American Concrete Pavement Association awarded a Best of Show for sustainability efforts. And if you turn on the news or if you go to national meetings like I do, sustainability is the hot topic. It's something that's out there that we've got to pay attention to. The concrete industry here in Oklahoma and ODOT have been proactive at this for a number of years. We have done things like change the way we design our mixes to reduce the amount of cement that we put in them. You know, cement is one of the most used construction materials in the world. It is a bit carbon intensive, so if we can reduce that, we reduce our carbon emissions. So we've incorporated that into our projects. We also use the cement substitution. Byproducts from waste industry, or waste products like the coal industry, are incorporated and substituted for cement. So we reduce our carbon footprint by those efforts. Recycling is a big deal. I don't know if you guys realize this. Most of the concrete pavements we take up these days are crushed and recycled on site, meaning we don't have to haul them off, find a place to dispose them, fill up a landfill, and we don't have to quarry new materials, or we lessen the amount of quarried materials we bring in and the subsequent hauling of those materials. So all of these things have been working together that ODOT has really, in our industry here in Oklahoma, has done a really proactive job of reducing our carbon footprint. That was recognized at this meeting. I was recognized. Most of those techniques were incorporated into this project, and so we're very, very proud of that, to be the first ever winner of the Best of Show Sustainability Award. So with that, if I should, I'll call them both up at the same time. They both happen to be built in the same division, the same construction residency by the same contractor. So even though there were 3 awards, they were shared by these 2 projects. In the overlay category, US 69 north of 63 near Kiowa. It was built in Division 2 under the construction residency of McAllister Construction Residency. The contractor was Do-It Construction. In the rural divided highways category and the best of show and sustainability categories, US 69 again, north of Caddo, Oklahoma. Again, in ODOT District 2, resident engineer was the ODOT McAllister Residency, and the contractor was Do-It Construction. So could you guys come on up and we'll have a photo.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, with your permission, I'd like to recognize Shelley Hilmus for an introduction.
Good morning, Commissioners. It is my honor to announce Ms. Stephanie Hackney as the Comptroller over Fiscal Operations. Stephanie earned her Bachelor's of Science degree in accounting from the University of Central Oklahoma. She is a certified public accountant and a certified governmental financial manager. Prior to joining the state of Oklahoma, Stephanie worked in public accounting at KPMG for over 7 years, performing audit services and developing accounting systems for Tinker Air Force Base. In addition, Stephanie worked several years at various private companies as their Director of Financial Reporting. Before joining ODOT, Stephanie served at the Office of Management and Enterprise Services in the Central Accounting and Reporting Department for 13 years. She served as a PeopleSoft Implementation Manager and subsequent Financial System Support Manager for all state agencies. Her most recent role at OMES included the BrightPath Payroll Accounting Lead, where she designed the Workday Payroll Accounting module to interact with the statewide PeopleSoft accounting system. And on a personal note, Stephanie is a paid actress and can be seen as an extra in 2 Netflix movies. She is also a professional photographer with several of her pieces displayed at the state capitol, as well as included in several state annual financial publications. Stephanie and her husband, Robert, live in Hare, Oklahoma. Please join me in welcoming Stephanie.
Item 1 is approval of the minutes of the Transportation Commission meeting on December 5th, 2022. Do I have a motion for approval of item 1?
Motion, Dyson.
And do I have a second? Alexander, second. Any discussion of that? Secretary will please call the roll.
Mr. Coburn?
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley?
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon?
Yes.
Mr. Freimiller?
Freimiller, yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Dyson?
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge?
LaForge, yes.
All ayes. Item 1 is approved. The consent docket contains items 2 and 3. If any commissioner would like to pull an individual item out for discussion, he may do so at this time. Otherwise, I'll hear a motion for approval of the consent docket.
So moved. Second.
Shannon, and a second from Freimiller. Secretary will please call the roll.
Mr. Coburn?
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley?
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon?
Yes.
Mr. Freimiller?
Freimiller, yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Dyson?
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge?
LaForge, yes.
We have all ayes. That motion is approved. Item 4 is engineering contracts. Mr. Tigler, you are recognized to present.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Mr. Secretary. Item 4 are engineering contracts this month. I have 2 of those. Part A is statewide. All districts are on-demand public involvement. The department has selected 3 firms to provide public involvement services, and they are with Blanton and Associates, CP&Y, and Poe and Associates. The aggregate not to exceed amount for these 3 contracts is $750,000. Part B in Lincoln County and District 3. The department has selected CP&Y to prepare construction plans for State Highway 66. This is over the Stillwater Central Railroad. The total not to exceed amount is $594,815. This project is in the 8-year construction work plan and the scheduled let date in 2029. Approval is recommended. Answer any questions if you have any this morning.
Can you explain what is on-demand public involvement?
Good question, Commissioner. We have consultants that will actually help us set up public involvement meetings and whatever we need them for contracts. If it's not in their contract already,
Right.
They will help us modify or go ahead and help us work the public meetings no matter what we need.
Why do we have engineering companies do that? I have degrees in engineering. I'm confused why we would have engineers doing public relations and public
They
involvement.
have components of non-engineer as well. I mean, they're going to go ahead and have public involvement knowledge and expertise. So, yeah, they will have that engineering knowledge as well, so they can help answer the questions and help that bridge between the engineers and those that are trying to get that message out to the folks.
Have we had a past history of using engineering companies? Has it gone well?
Yes, it has. Yep. And we're all still learning because there's still some new things that we've been going through with all these virtual meetings and everything else. So there's a lot.
I mean, we don't allow public relations firms to bid on our bridge design projects. I'm confused why we're
Right.
having, did we limit it to engineering?
It's out there for anyone that's on our list, so they can always respond.
Okay. No questions for me.
Okay, thank you. You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 4?
I'll make a motion, Alexander.
Alexander? Do I have a second? Frymiller? Any discussion? All right. Secretary will please call the roll.
Mr. Coburn?
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley?
Grimsley, no.
Mr. Shannon?
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller?
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Dyson?
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge?
LaForge, yes.
7 yes and 1 no. The motion passes, or item's approved. Item 5 is engineering contract supplements. Mr. Tigler, you're recognized to continue.
Thank you. Item 5, engineering contract supplements. I have 5 of those this month. Part A is the statewide. All districts are on-system bridge inspections. Previously selected 4 consulting firms to provide these services. 2 of these that are being supplemented this month are Burgess and Nyepel and CEC Corporation. Total aggregate increase for these contract supplements is $500,000, $250,000 each. Part B is our statewide all districts on-demand project reconnaissance data collection. We previously selected 10 firms to provide these services. They are BKL, Garver, Half Associates, Native Strategies, Park Hill Smith and Cooper, Poe and Associates, Professional Engineering Consultants, the Schemmer Associates, Walter P. Moore and Associates, and White Hawk Engineering and Design. Total aggregate increase for these supplements is $2.5 million, or $250,000 each. Part C, also statewide, all districts are on-demand state bridge rehabilitation contract. We previously selected 8 firms to provide these services. They are CEC Corporation, Consor Engineers, CP&Y, Friesen Nichols, HNTB Corporation, Olson, Perkypile Engineering, and Tetra Tech. Total aggregate increase for these contract supplements is $2 million, or $250,000 each as well. Part D in Okfuskee County in District 3. The department previously authorized Tetra Tech to prepare construction plans for State Highway 84. Supplement not to exceed amount is $37,900. This project is in the 8-year construction work plan with scheduled let date of 2027. And finally, Part E in Washita County in District 5. Department previously authorized MKEC Engineering to perform preliminary engineering and construction plans for State Highway 152. Supplement not to exceed amount is $12,721, and this project is also in the construction work plan in 2023. Approval is recommended. Try to answer any questions this morning.
You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 5?
So moved.
Shannon, so moved. Do I have a second? Dyson, okay. Any discussion, commissioners? All right. Secretary will please call the roll.
Mr. Coburn?
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley?
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon?
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller?
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes?
Mr. Dyson?
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge?
LaForge, yes.
Thank you.
Vote is 8-0. The item carries. Thank you. Item 6 is change orders with a cumulative total of $75,000 or less. Mr. Leonard, you are recognized to present.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I'd like to present item number 6, parts A through M. These are change orders on projects which have a cumulative total of change orders of $75,000 or less. This item is presented for your information only and no action is necessary, but I'd be glad to answer any questions.
All right. If there are no questions, Mr. Leonard, you're recognized to present item 7, change orders with a cumulative total greater than $75,000.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, item 7, parts A through V. These are change orders on projects which have a cumulative total of change orders greater than $75,000. These are presented for your approval and is recommended, and I'd be glad to answer any questions.
And you've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 7?
LaForge, move for approval.
Coburn, second.
And Coburn, second. Thank you. Any discussion, commissioners? All right, Secretary, will please call the roll.
Mr. Coburn?
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley?
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon?
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller?
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Dyson?
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge?
LaForge, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 7 passes 8-0. Item 8 is proposed bid openings. Mr. Hackney, you are recognized to present.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I need to point out a Scribner's error on this item. We inadvertently included OTA's bid project list. Please disregard the last 2 pages of the project list. Item 8, proposed bid openings, consists of the final February 2023, the tentative March 2023, and the tentative April 2023 bid openings. The department recommends approval.
You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 8?
Motion, Dyson.
Dyson, do I have a second?
I second it.
Frymiller, second. Any discussion? Secretary will please call the roll.
Mr. Coburn?
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley?
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon?
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller?
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Dyson?
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge?
LaForge, yes.
Item 8 passes 8-0. Item 9 is budget revisions. Ms. Hilmes, you're recognized to present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Agenda item 9 is for fiscal year 2023 budget revision, parts A through H. As you may recall, in June, when the budget was passed, it was noted that it may be necessary to provide budget revisions. This particular one is related to ensuring that budget authority exists both in the year of a letting as well as the recording of the obligation. So with that, part A is for the highway program in 2 categories, both federal and state. Federal funds in the amount of $278 million, state funds in the amount of $119 million. Part B is for the highway maintenance program in the amount of $22 million. Part C is for already prior year reserves for right-of-way and utilities in the amount of $90 million. And Part D is for the Lake and Industrial Access Program in the amount of $8 million. Part E is for the Materials Certification Program in the amount of $145,000. Part F is for the county program in the amount of $13 million. And Part G is for the transit program in the amount of $1.6 million. And Part H is for the rail program in the amount of $4.9 million. The department requests and recommends approval of this item.
You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 9?
So move.
Shannon, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second, Alexander.
Alexander, second. And any discussion? Secretary will please call the roll.
Mr. Coburn?
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley?
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon?
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller?
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Dyson?
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge?
LaForge, yes.
Item 9 passes 8-0. Thank you. Item 10 is awards. Mr. Delfs, you are recognized to present.
Good morning, Mr. Peterson, Commissioners. Excuse me. Item 10 are recommendations from the December 22nd bid opening. It is recommended that the following items from that bid opening referred to by call order be awarded as call orders 700, 705, 715, 720, 725, 730, 740, 745, 760, and 765. It is recommended that the decision regarding either award or rejection for the following item from the December 22nd bid opening referred to by call order be deferred in accordance with state statutes for a period not to exceed 90 days, and that's call order 757. This includes our recommendations for awards, and your approval is requested.
You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 10?
So move, Coburn.
And a second?
Frymiller, second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Secretary will please call the roll.
Mr. Coburn?
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley?
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon?
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller?
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Dyson?
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge?
LaForge, yes.
Item 10 passes 8-0. Thank you. Item 11 is the Director's Report. Secretary Gatz, you are recognized to present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Congratulations again to District 2, Commissioner Grimsley. Certainly Anthony Kelly and his team, along with Do It Construction, did some work worth recognition. So again, well-deserved, excited for them. We appreciate your consideration this morning of a couple of major projects, certainly Interstate 35 and I-240 and the interchange reconstruction here in Oklahoma County. This phase is going to feature several different parts of that interchange, and I guess the best way to look
Recording
at it
stop. Recording in progress.
excuse me, would be to look at it from the outside working in. And again, this will have the northbound I-35 to eastbound I-240 ramp included, work at the railroad bridge that's immediately east of that location, some pavement replacement down on I-240 main line, and one of the most important aspects is a turnaround at 59th Street. And again, as we begin to implement these different phases, it sets the stage for us to work more in the interchange proper, and we think we may be able to accomplish and finish that interchange location with one final phase. So again, that's probably a couple of years away, and appreciate your consideration of that this morning. Also, in Choctaw County, US 271 bridge replacement over the Kiamichi Railroad, which is a $20 million project, and that's something we're going to work on. Another one of the bridges that we've been keeping an eye on for a while, and that's going to need some improvement, and we're really looking forward to get that project started and getting it completed. There'll be some temporary crossovers on the 4-lane divided highway, some 1 lane in each direction time during construction. We estimate that that project will start in the late spring and take about 14 months to complete. So again, the traveling public needs to be aware of those 2 major projects, and certainly there'll be some disruption to the flow of traffic as we implement those improvements. Continuing our focus on safety. Our safety campaign right now is distracted driving. We're joining our partners at the Department of Public Safety and the Highway Safety Office, along with the Turnpike Authority, to remind motorists this month to put away distractions when behind the wheel and always focus on the roadway. Distracted driving is one of the top causes of fatalities on our highways. Cell phones are one of the main culprits of distracted driving, which is why Oklahoma is one of 48 states that have a texting while driving ban. Other distractions include something as simple as eating while you're driving, talking with passengers, or adjusting the radio, or in any way, shape, or form taking your eyes and mind off of what's immediately in front of you. So as we start the new year, we'd ask motorists to partner with us and do everything they can to arrive safely at their destination, including putting away those distractions and buckling their seatbelts. So as always, Mr. Chairman, I'd be happy to answer any questions that the commission may have of me, and appreciate you gentlemen's time this morning.
Maybe back to Commissioner Grimsley's objection. This would be to Mr. Tigler. You talked about a list of people that are doing essentially public relations work for us. Is it all engineering firms?
No, and even in the solicitation, we're asking for those that can, if I may, preference will be given to teams with extensive transportation experience and public meeting experience. So we're looking for that combination.
Yeah, I understand. It would make sense to have certainly the engineering component also. Okay.
And the public involvement that we do is primarily focused on the NEPA process, and that's a very regimented combination of making sure that we're capturing public interest and public input as we work our way through the conceptualization of transportation projects. So again, it's a multifaceted process that certainly includes that public relations component, which is an important piece of it, but also is really driven by the environmental clearance and environmental documentation process that we go through with each project.
Right. Well, I thought it was a good point. Commissioner Grimsley, anything further?
No, I think I would actually like to start seeing more on our contract. As you know, I raised some concerns back in the spring about contracting as our construction contractors were facing a lot of unprecedented challenges. And so I've still had some complaints since that time. I'm not sure that ever received full answer to some of the things I brought up. I still don't understand how bid limits work. I'd like to start seeing more data on our engineering and construction. I want to make sure that we're treating both buckets, engineering contractors and our construction, fairly. I don't want to see us treating one more harshly or not being as responsive. So sure. I'd like to start seeing more data. I'm going to work with you and Mr. Tegler on more data that I'd like to see. I don't think this is quite sufficient, in my opinion, for us to really have the insight we need. And as a reminder, we are the statutory implementation of public involvement, this commission is. And so we have access, and we should have access to all the information. I'm going to be asking for more, I think, moving forward. So that's all I have.
Okay.
Certainly, and we'll be eager to provide
right.
and certainly work with you, Commissioner Grimsley.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do commissioners have any more questions or comments? No? If there are none, then I'd hear a motion for item 12, which is adjournment.
So moved.
Mr. Shannon, do I have a second?
Second, Dyson.
Dyson, Secretary will call the roll.
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley?
Grimsley, yes?
Mr. Shannon?
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller?
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Dyson?
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Mr. LaForge?
LaForge, yes.
The vote is 8-0. We are adjourned.